Okay, so I'm going to go over the Show Me What You Know from last week. The first question was about inequalities and inequality notation and interval notation. So the key here is to look at whether or not it should be a parentheses or a bracket, and then kind of go from there and just match them up. So here is the correct answer set, and just remember, if it's a less than or a greater than, it should be a parentheses, and if it's a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, it should be a bracket. So that's the important part to remember there. Okay, for the next question, remember interval notation is the brackets and the parentheses, and inequality notation is the less than or equal to, greater than or equal to kind of signs. So for the domain, it starts at -4 and it goes to 6, but the 6 is an open circle. For range, it goes from -3 to 2, and it's a bracket because although there is a open dot, there's also a line. So remember, a solid goes over an open. So 2 would be included in the range. And then for inequality notation, -4 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 6, and -3 is less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to 2. So make sure you've checked both of those. Okay, for the question number 3, you need to use your stat in your calculator. I think everyone did that. A few people, I think, maybe typed in some numbers because you got a different answer. But you should have gotten 56.25n plus 255. And then how many weeks would she have to work to earn $13.80 in her checking account? And the answer, when you plug that in for y and solve, you should have gotten 20 weeks. So 20 weeks was your answer. Okay, for the next question, I didn't count this one for the grade because we hadn't gone over it, but you should have found the y-intercept of 4, the slope of -2/3. It was a dotted line, and it was greater than, so you shaded on top. So like I said, I didn't grade that question because we hadn't discussed it yet, but it should be stuff that's pretty familiar to you. Okay, finding the inverse. There's 2 ways to do this. So the first way is algebraically, switch x and y, solve for y. So you're going to add 5 to both sides. So you have x plus 5 equals 2/3 y. Now to get rid of the 2/3, you multiply both sides by 3/2. That's what tripped a lot of you up, was multiplying by 3/2. So you get y to the -1, which means inverse, equals 3/2 x plus 15/2. Now the other way to do it would be to enter into y equals 2/3 x minus 5. Oh, I should say minus 5. In y equals, look at the table, would be your next step. Then after you look at the table, find some x's and y's, switch them, switch 2 ordered pairs, switch the 2 ordered pairs of x and y, and then use stat in your calculator to find the new equation. So that's another way. And number 7, all you had to do was literally switch the 2 x and y ordered pairs. So you don't do anything with the signs, they stay with their number, you just switch the ordered pairs. Okay, so I hope you are ready for the CFA tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be great, and have a great Sunday afternoon.